Welcome back. I'm reading Satan's Trilogy. I am the author and the narrator. This is Book 1, Chapter 3, and I believe this is reading 17. Brandy is not used to waking up early on a day off, and certainly not before 9 a.m. But with Esther in the house, waking up in the wonderful aromas of breakfast makes getting out of bed a lot easier. Brandy had been stretching in bed and snuggling with one of her pillows when she first detected the scent of fried bacon. Knowing that Esther had already prepared a wonderful meal, Brandy became anxious with anticipation. Yesterday's breakfast was top-notch, and if today's comes close, then it will be worth getting out of bed to enjoy it. Brandy put on her light pink cotton robe, made her way out into the living area. Only half awake, Brandy nearly awoke on the spot when the full aroma of the kitchen greeted her. Esther was bustling about in the kitchen and saw Brandy standing in the hallway. "Good morning, Aunt Brandy. How did you sleep last night?" "Esther," said Brandy, "I was out like a light and dead to the world. But waking up to these wonderful smells is absolutely, wonderful." Brandy giggled at herself. "I am really feeling pampered. You made such a great meal yesterday. I could hardly wait to see what you had done today." Esther was excited. "I thought it would be wonderful to have some waffles. Mr. Ho had a waffle maker for sale in his store. I saw it yesterday while shopping. It was still there this morning. He said we could try it out, and if we liked it, he'll give us a great price." Esther met Brandy halfway across the room and handed Brandy her cup of morning coffee. Brandy took a sip. "Oh my God, that is so good. I can't believe how good that is. You said it was Jamaican?" "Mr. Ho has it flown in from Jamaica twice a week. Fresh Jamaican coffee, freshly ground and pure water. Those are the secrets to great coffee, according to Mr. Ho." Esther took the cup of coffee from Brandy, since it appeared that she still needed to wake up just a bit. "And Brandy, why don't you sit at the table? Give me just 3 minutes and breakfast will be ready." "Thank you, Esther, but I followed my nose when I should have been listening to my kidneys. I really need to go back to the bathroom." Brandy turned around and went down the hall to use the girls' room. She then washed her face, pulled back her hair into a clip, and returned to the kitchen, all in 3 minutes' time. Brandy sat at the kitchen table and sipped some of the Jamaican coffee that Esther had set there for her. "Oh my God, that is really great coffee." Esther turned around from the kitchen counter, smiling, and looked at Brandy, who now appeared more awake. "And Brandy, I have to agree, it is wonderful coffee. But I'm going to give credit to Mr. Ho. He knows what it takes to make great coffee, and I followed his directions. I think that you'll like him. Well, we'll have to take a walk together and visit him sometime. He is very knowledgeable about all foods." Esther pulled 2 waffles out of the waffle iron and unplugged the waffle maker. Placing a plate of waffles on the table, Esther then brought a platter of sausage links and eggs, cooked over easy. The buttered toast was in a small basket with jam nearby. Butter and maple syrup was already on the table. Brandy was not being shy about trying the waffles. She had already cut one up into bite-sized pieces, took her first bite. "Oh my God, Esther, this waffle is wonderful." Brandy took another bite. "I guess that means the waffle maker is a keeper," Esther laughed. Esther, why is it that everything you make is so good? And Brandy, I do try to make flavorful food using quality ingredients, but I am beginning to wonder if perhaps you've been eating too many microwave packaged foods. I couldn't help but notice your freezer was loaded with packaged dinners, and unfortunately, I had to throw out some of them. Their expiration date was nearly 6 months old. Well, yes, I don't enjoy spending time in the kitchen, but I am learning to enjoy eating at our table. I can't remember sitting at this table for a meal, let alone truly enjoying one. Brandy took another bite of the waffle. She then cut up her 2 sausage links and took a bite. That is really good sausage, Esther. Brandy took another bite and placed one of the eggs on her plate. Cutting the egg open, the warm yolk flowed out, and Brandy took a piece of the buttered toast to dab at the egg. Oh my God, that is so wonderful. Having taken a bite of the toast and yolk, Brandy continued to engulf her breakfast. Esther and Brandy enjoyed breakfast in near silence as they ate. Brandy finished her sausage. Esther poured her a half cup of coffee. And Brandy, after I clean up the kitchen, I have something special for you. If you would like to take your morning shower, I'll clean up and we can talk. Brandy looked a bit puzzled, but felt she could agree to the suggestion and be patient. Esther, this doesn't seem fair. You do all the work, and I reap all the benefits. Oh no, Aunt Brandy, I love cooking, and besides, I need to keep busy. It's because of the way my mind works. I have to keep myself occupied. Trust me, Aunt Brandy, if I wasn't enjoying myself, I would tell you so. I should warn you that at times my honesty and frankness can come across a bit caustic. I usually don't intend on offending anyone, but I have always been honest with my thoughts. Okay then, I'll be back after I shower and dress. Brandy left for the shower. Esther quickly cleaned up the dishes and put some of the food that was not eaten into plastic bags. Since the waffle iron was designed to make square waffles, Esther decided they might taste fine reheated in the toaster, a quick snack for later on. Esther finished cleaning the kitchen and had plenty of time to put on a pair of new jeans and a new blouse. The blouse was simple cotton with long sleeves and ruffles in the front, a very pale pink with a hint of golden threads that had threads running vertically in the material. Esther put on a choker necklace that she had brought in her bag from China. It had small gemstones, pale blue and translucent. The stones were oval-shaped, lining the entire length of the necklace, nearly matching the color of her jeans. The necklace helped tie the clothes together. Brandy walked out of her bedroom thinking that she looked good with a new pair of black jeans and light gray rayon blouse. It had a vertical pattern in the material. When Brandy saw Esther, she was blown away. Oh my God, you look fantastic. You really wear those clothes well, Esther. Looking that good, you'll have guys climbing over each other to get your attention. Commented Brandy, touching on a subject she was curious about. Then, almost apologetically, Brandy started to explain herself. Esther, I hope that I don't offend you when I say, oh my God. I haven't used that expression for 20 years. However, you have brought it back out of me, and in a good way. I keep finding myself shocked, thrilled, and amazed by you, all at once. When I say, oh my God, it just comes out. It seems to be an instinctive reaction. Brandy was being honest with Esther and sincere about not wanting to offend her. That's all right, Aunt Brandy. I appreciate your honesty, and I'm flattered with your comments. Dad always insisted that I dress up at least once a month. He thought it important for me to know how to dress well enough to impress others. He also wanted me to know correct grooming and proper etiquette. Dad saw to it that I received instruction not only in formal education, but he provided instructors to teach a young girl the behaviors that make a young lady. Being a quick learner, the instructors seldom stayed more than a week. Dad had them return once a year to make certain that I retained their teachings. Esther pulled out a small photo of her favorite teacher and handed it to Brandy. We shouldn't break rules, but it seems we all do. Carrying photos of people we love can put them at risk. Dad would remind me of this often. This is Miss Lynn. She taught me music for nearly 9 years. Under her instructions, I learned to play the cello. I had other instructors, but Miss Lynn showed me how to make the cello sing like an angel. The fingers and the heart are what play the cello, Miss Lynn would say. She was only 39 years old when she died. She had just turned 18. I had just turned 18 years old when I was told her body was found alongside the road. She was raped and beaten by a man that she had rejected his advances. He cut her throat before leaving her nude body along the roadside. Perhaps Dad insisted that I study self-defense so that I wouldn't become a victim like Miss Lynn. I've seen a lot of brutality in my life, but I believe that the good in the world far exceeds the bad. I think Dad worried about that balance of good and bad was shifting. He called me his little soldier for good. Esther gave Brandy a big smile. Do you think I was sidestepping the discussion about boys? Esther laughed and giggled. I see a long and happy future for myself with many friends, but I don't see a boy in my life. Esther seemed to force a smile. That is what I see, Aunt Brandy, and I'm seldom wrong. Esther was looking at the photo as she talked. Dad was probably away from me more than we were together, but I know he was always thinking of me. At least twice a month, someone would show up to train or instruct me on some subject. Dad really understood my mind and its need for constant input. With my active mind, I always welcomed the new challenges, even if the tasks were easily mastered. I knew that Dad had a design for me, and I didn't want to disappoint him. Esther thought for a moment. In China, it is very important to honor your parents. Again, Esther thought for a moment. You know, Aunt Brandy, on the surface, my dad could have been easily mistaken for a simple soldier, but he was much more than that. Dad and his friends were highly trained in all forms of combat, intelligence, weapons, and security. When they retired from the military, they were hired by the world's wealthiest people as security advisors. They completed many special assignments with lucrative results. Dad and his friends were financially very successful, and their skills were highly sought after by the wealthy and often desperate people. They all chose their careers because they loved their work and they deeply respected each other. When we do something well and we love it, then why would we ever stop? Brandy was listening to Esther. Such wise words coming from such a young woman. Brandy felt a bit of pride that her niece was this wonderful and insightful person.